So this is an introduction to the user interface on Fusion 360. I'm going to start off over here on the left, which is the data panel. And this is where we keep all of our folders for different projects. Now, yours will, if you're new to Fusion, you'll probably have one over here on the left called the admin folder. That's because you were set up in Fusion Teams. But what we're going to do is do a new project, and I want you to call it the IED folder. Like that. Okay, and it will create a folder. Now, this is where you'll go to actually set up all of your work. So the first project that you're going to do, we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call this Fusion Basic. So now you have an IED folder and a Fusion Basic folder, and as we go through different projects, you will add new folders. You got to hit enter there in order for that to work. Now, going back away from the data panel, so we can just right here get rid of that. I can then bring it back right here. And if you want to go back to that first screen, because you might want to make folders for other projects that maybe just for fun or whatever, not for this class, then you can always go back here or whatever you're going to find. Now, the other thing too that students like to use is sometimes we can go here and it has the most recent projects that you've worked on. When you get into those projects, you'll still want to pay attention to where you're saving them and keeping them and managing them. So I'll go back to the home. I'm going to get out of the data panel now, and I'm going to explain some of the rest of the data or the Fusion interface. So this next up here is this for whatever it's a typical new, whether it's a new design. We won't be doing electronics designs or electronics libraries. We will be doing drawings and some of these other things, but I'll introduce those in videos as they come about. This floppy disk up here is the save as, and of course we have the undo and redo arrows too. And then dropping to here, which like in most Microsoft applications, this is called the ribbon. This ribbon can be customized. This should be the default way which your ribbon is. And so depending on what you're doing, you can go and select different operations to use in Fusion. This very first one is always solid, and that's what we will be working in mostly in this class. The surface, we don't do so much, nor the sheet metal. Tools are for different other operations that we may or may not get into inspect. But right now, we're just worried about the solid. Now, the other is the model browser here, and this is where we actually can go and manage our model. I'll be making a video for the next one in the series on really how this works a little bit, just so you learn how to maneuver those things. Then over here, we also have the view cube. I'll show that also in the next video so you can see how that works. Down here, we'll have a history of the model, and you can it's encouraged to turn the history on. There's a place where you can turn it on or off. We always want it on. And then also down here, we have this different other interfaces like multiple views. If you have more than one model open, we can do a grid layout in the 3D view. I don't like to do that because it gets confusing with sketches. And snap to grid, if you're going to snap to the grid, And then there are also some other settings here. This is our visual appearance, basically, like visual style, however you see the model, different mesh displays, and other environments. That's basically adjusts the how your screen looks. So if I go dark sky, it looks like that. I'll get back to, I believe, photo booth. And then we'll also go, we have different effects, like if we want to see the shadow on our model, which I don't have a model in here right now. Object visibility, this different things you can turn on and off. The camera, as far as how you look at the model itself. And this is also the ground effect plane. So, down here, there's comments. I very rarely use that. If we do, I'll introduce another video on how to do this. We have the different zoom tools. These can also be accessed by using the mouse and the cursor. Pan, we can pan around. This is a lookout tool in our orbit, and we'll be going over those also in the near future. So that's the basic interface. The main thing you need to make sure that you do is set up that IED folder. I actually have two. And then you, for the first project, make sure you have a Fusion Basic folder set up. So now you're ready for the next video, and then to also start modeling after that.